that was the one that was said to call his wife and told him that the reason he was over here so long, you know how OG talks, he won't let me go. That was a black fella.
Yeah.
Eddie Richardson, he died the next year. Cancer, pancreatic cancer. He had surgery, and they said he was clear. He died the next year. Eddie was 61 years old.
Lord.
And a number of them that I worked with didn't make it to 65. Big Joe, he's big as Lewis. He was my oiler, and he would do anything I asked him to do. But I never pushed him. I'd let him. I never asked him to do something that I wouldn't help him do. You know. But that was a hard-working man. And then Fatson, Andrew Smith from Glen Allen, and Ronnie Bagbeater. Me and him talked half of the day. I think he told me he had 22 kids.
Wow.
He said, I got so many with this woman, so many with that woman, so many with that woman. It wasn't all in one place. And he was the only son his dad had it. He had some sisters, but he didn't have one of his sisters worked for me. She called here one night when Andy died. I didn't answer the phone, Ruth answered the phone, and she told Ruth that he always called me BJ. Her name's Betty Joel, but I call her BJ all the time. She worked, but she good work. But a mouth, Lord, she had a mouth on her. But she was a likable person once you got to know her.
Somebody the other day told me to tell you hi about a week ago. Down at the Rolling Fork store, you can guess who it was, couldn't you?
It was a
Lived over Glen Allen. Leroy.
Leroy was in there.
He always asks me anytime he sees me.
Yeah, I was at Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's been a while ago. And now you would get a hell of a funny feeling somebody do you this way. But I was waiting to pay and had the money in my hand, you know. Now I'm standing off to the side. I done got my order in. I'm just waiting to get the money to the woman up. And all of a sudden a black arm come up under him like this and grabbed that money. And I clamped down on it. And he just fell out laughing. He was standing behind that Leroy.
I don't think I've ever seen him when he wasn't grinning.
Yeah, he's the only, in all the years I was supervisor and the fixer out of Greenville Mills, he's the only person that ever gave me a Christmas gift that worked for me. He bought me an 8-inch crescent one time. It was a good one too. He gave me an 8-inch. I still got that crescent which is in my toolbox out there. Every fixer toted the 8-inch crescent in his back pocket, a screwdriver and a pair of scissors. You had a little pouch, but I couldn't handle that pouch. I put them in my back pocket.
Yeah, I remember you had that little leather pouch. Yeah.
I see your shirt's only got one pocket on it now.
Did what?
Your shirt's only got one pocket. I remember you used to always have to have 2 pockets.
I got a half a dozen shirts back under the closet. They're still good. The same shirts I had back then got 2 pockets. 2 of them has got flaps over the top. But some of them just got 2 pockets. But yeah, way back then when I quit smoking cigarettes, I got where I didn't use them pockets. The old doctor told me, I said, man, you know cigarettes gonna kill you. And I said, what do you mean? He said, man, you looking forward to going early, smoking them cigarettes. Well, I said, there's a remedy for that, Doc. He said, what was that? And I just took it out and laid the cigarettes down on his desk. I said, there they are. I ain't never smoked no cigarette. I didn't tell him I smoked cigars.
I remember you had to give him up when Mama had pulmonary fibrosis.
I gave them up because you ever try to smoke a cigar inside with somebody sick? You got to go outside to light a cigar, and the temperature 32 degrees. They don't taste near about as good. I got to where I could smoke a cigar quick, man. And I usually lay it down on something outside so I could go back and light it again after a while. if I'd ever saw one of my dogs smoking it, I'd quit.
Oh, hey, do you remember when I forgot what in the world Barbara Ann did? Mom was trying to make divinity, and Barbara done something, and she overcooked the Cairo, and she went and poured it in the dog pan outside. You remember seeing them beagles walking around the yard, that pan stuck to the side of their face, they had the teeth caught in it? They finally eat all that Cairo out of that thing, but man, they'd be chomping on it and get the teeth stuck, and they'd be walking around with the pan stuck on the side of their face.
It didn't have, never one of them dogs to reach up there and catch and pull it off. I remember one time I had 21 beagles, little puppies. They're about that tall. That's the prettiest bunch of dogs I ever seen. You remember that? I got pictures of them in an album out there.
Remember old Wimpy and George?
Yep. Two of the best dogs I ever had wasn't even beagle. They were half beagle and half feist. One of them was big, he was tall, you know. And the other one was short, sawed off, short-legged. They were brothers out of the same litter. But that's two of the best dogs I ever owned. I tell you, after I got to where I didn't hunt none, they were still living, and my cousin, my first cousin, biology professor at Delta State, him and his two boys loves to go rabbit hunting. And he come down and talked me out of letting him take them two dogs up there. And he took care of them too. Even after he quit hunting. He kept them two dogs till they died. Fed them good. He said them two of the best he ever seen. They worked together. One time, Robert had been over on the back hunting, and he said, "Dad, there's some coons up on the light pole over there." And I got my gun and went over there, and I didn't have to take but 2 or 3 shells with me. And there was 3 of them. And one of them jumped out. I killed 2 of them. And the other one jumped out and run, and them 2 dogs went with me. And you ought to have seen it. They worked together. One of them dashed at the coon, and the coon throwed his feet up and started at him, and the dog run backwards on 2 feet. And when he passed that other one, the other one grabbed the coon behind the neck. It's just like they knew how to do it.
Smart dogs.
They were good dogs. I had some good ones. Liv's was about the best.
And I still remember one of them.
One, that was the best beagle I've seen. But she was part bird dog.
Yeah, she's a quarter bird dog. And Johnny got mad because he killed that rabbit, and she wouldn't let him have it. She brought it back to you.
And laid it down. He shot a rabbit, and the dog, she looked beagle, except she had longer legs. And she went and caught that rabbit and killed it and brought it back. And she brought it to me and laid it down.
Remember that dog you said had was so ugly?
Huh?
Remember that beagle you had that was so ugly? What'd you name him?
Paladin.
Paladin.
That's the ugliest dog I ever seen.
Now, why did you name him Paladin?
Because he looked like that fellow on television.
Richard Boone?
He's Richard Boone. He wore black all the time, see. But that...
Dad said that's the ugliest dog you ever had. Said made him think of Paladin. So he named it Paladin. So made him think of Richard Boone.
And as far as I know, he's still running that deer. We went down Issaquah County, the company, Mahasko, had some land leased down in Issaquah County for the employees to go deer hunting. And I took them dogs down there, and they jumped a deer. And 2 of them, Wimpy and George, I got them, they found them about a few miles down the levee. And Paladin, he never did come back. He never showed up again. That deer must have hit the Mississippi River when that dog tried to follow it. I never did find him.
Until Liz was something else, so people even stole her and she come home.
I told him I had some beagles disappear, 3 of them. And I told them, don't worry about it. When they put their collar on that dog and put her in a pen somewhere, she'll be home. And a few days later, I'd eaten breakfast, getting ready to go to work. Dog scratched on the back door. I opened the door and there was Liz. letting me know she's home. She ain't coming now, but she just letting me know she's home. And I took the collars off of her, and I called the man up. And he said, well, come over here and look at my kennel. Said, I bought some dogs the other day. Said, you may have some more over there. And I went over there, and one of them come flying across that pen. Ruby was with me, and that dog jumped all the way up in her arms. He said, well, that one's yours, I know. But one of them I never did find. But 2 boys from down around Riverside down there had stole them dogs and sold them to him, said they come out of Louisiana down there. I got 2 of them back, but I never did get the other one.
Yeah, Liz climbed a fence like a ladder, just straight up.
You could not keep what? Liz, I don't care what kind of pen you put in it, she'd get out. She wasn't going nowhere, but she did not like to be in a pen.